Hello everybody, my name is 60 People. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. And today we're going to continue the what if, but first, again, I'm almost at 100 subscribers and I just need 7 more. So I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Or tell your friends about me and make them subscribe, if you're already subscribed. Alright, that's it. We just going to get into what if now. We continue our story after Deku has just helped All Might defeat the Nomu and is going home. He just gets home. And then his mom tackles him with a hug, crying her eyes out because her son almost got killed. But him saying it's fine and calming down her heart with his electric powers, because he can do that. And in this time, Inko has heart problems because of how stressed she gets. And luckily for her, Deku is there to keep her from having heart attacks. Usually. And, yeah. Then Deku and Inko sit down and have lunch. I mean, yeah, lunch, I guess. Then, Deku just goes to sleep early and, Then a week passes and Deku goes back to UA. Oh, don't worry, Deku is hanging out with his mom and going shopping with her over that week. And, yeah. Then Deku to UA, like I just said. And Aizawa announces the sports festival, and Deku's really pumped because finally he is safe again and he gets to fight people in a safe environment. Because right now he's just training and he's hoping that the villains don't bother him again. Yeah. So when they're going to the locker rooms to change into their hero outfit, their hero sports festival outfit, I don't know. Ochako expresses to Deku that she's hoping she can win it to show how strong she is. With Deku hoping that, he wins, but tells Ochako that if she wants to win, she's going to have to get through me and Bakugo and Todoroki. But Ochako says, doesn't matter to her, she'll win. With Deku saying he likes her optimism. Yeah. So they get their outfits on, and they get into the area before the fight. And, yeah. So when the thing rings, Deku just thunderclaps and flashes out of the thing and then dashes forward, up ahead of the entire crowd. Then he dashes even more to a giant robot to short circuit it, and the big robot, remember, and then the robot slams onto the front of the thing, so everyone has to climb around it. Then Deku flashes even more and then just goes into a full sprint. And then he calms down when he gets close to the hole with the tight ropes and rocks on it, and then he just leaps it, and then thunderclap and flashes over it, and then thinks that's good, so he'll just take a little break. So he takes a little break, and then he continues to run. Dashing sometimes, and sometimes thunderclap and flashing over other obstacles. Until he gets to the mine bit and decides he'll take this one slow, considering he's already super ahead of the other people. So he takes it slow until Todoroki shows up and uses his ice powers to try to get to Deku. So Deku picks up a mine and then throws it at Todoroki, actually hitting Todoroki and pushing him back onto a buttload of other mines, which shoots him even farther back. With Deku using, them thinking, what if I shoot myself forward? So Deku jumps onto an explosive in a weird angle and then shoots himself really far forward because of how many explosives are around it. Which Deku goes flying and then dashes into the finish line, winning the dash super easily. And Deku does a little spin roll and then lands, dashing, like sliding into the entrance, with everyone cheering because that was cool looking and how well Deku did. So then, after everyone else was get there, and let's say Todoroki and Bakugo tied with this timeline, just cause. Then Deku goes to get his 10,000 points after the teacher announces that, and yeah, he gets the 10 million points and is hoping someone will join his team. Luckily for him, Ochako, Tokuyami, Denki Kaminari are there to help. Actually, mine is Tokuyami, just the pink-haired girl with the robotic stuff, because she thinks he's perfect for show off her things, because he's the main focus. So Deku gets on top of everyone and is ready to do this. And yeah. So the thing starts, and everyone rushes Deku, of course, but Deku just sends out all of his dragons, pushing 2 teams down, actually. We'll say just Suyu, Mineta, and Shoji. I mean, not Shoji. The Duple Arms guy. They get knocked down. And I'd say... honestly, I think Monoma's team would be pushed down, but the guy with the shield stuff would just save them with a shield, and then that would push them back up. So they're not fully down. Then Baku goes sprinting at Deku with explosions and shoots out the big one, trying to knock over Deku's team. But Deku, actually, Ochako punches the ground, shooting a rock up that blocks it. It's a big rock, by the way. So it blocks it, exploding back on them, with Baku using this as a distraction to fly at Deku to grab his 10,000 points. But Denki shoots off an electric, like an electric pulse, which does stun the other team, but also stuns Baku, which makes him almost fall, but he saves himself and shoots him back onto his team. This also almost takes out Kaminari, but Deku puts his hand on Kaminari's shoulder and juices him up, making his electric powers back. So then Todoroki's team tries to get the 10 million points, but they're dealt with a little more easier because Deku just puts out a big dragon, and Denki shoots out an even bigger pulse, with the dragon using it as like a power boost, which makes it faster, which makes it slam into that team, which basically hits them like bowling pins. But Todoroki saves himself with an ice pillar while his team tries to get up. And Todoroki just lands on his team again after they get all up, and yeah. And Denki kind of goes back into his dead brain state, but again, Deku gives him more energy. And yeah. I think time has ran out now. So, yeah. Deku wins, nothing bad happens to him. And everyone who passed from the original pass is here. So I don't have to think. So, Deku then gets ready for the fight with Shinso. And I'd say in this timeline, he doesn't get told that Shinso has like a brain control quirk. Well, not told, but like hinted at. Deku just gets in there, intending to just fight, no talking. Which is a problem for Shinso, because that's his whole ability. So Shinso goes for the whole insulting, being mean stuff, but Deku being confused why he's even doing this, considering it's a sporting event. Nothing that important here. But yeah. Deku dashes at Shinso with him not answering him, but saying, "What are you talking about?" And punches Shinso straight out of the ring with one punch. Basically like dragon fisting him. He punches him in the chest, shoots at a dragon, and the dragon sends him into outside the ring. Then Deku just stands in the ring, and he won, just like that. Then Deku leaves and runs into Endeavor after the fight, with Endeavor saying that his son's gonna win, with Deku saying he shouldn't be so sure, considering Deku's pretty strong and he knows it. With Endeavor saying that no way my masterpiece would lose to you, with Deku glancing over to him in disgust because he just talked to his son like that, but he didn't say anything. Anyways, Deku gets into the ring with Todoroki standing there after, the whole freezing up Shero and yeah. Okay, let's cut a little bit back to when Ochako was fighting Bakugo. Deku was sitting in the rings and seeing Ochako getting her face kicked in. And she was losing, and he was feeling really bad for her. But she's trying, and so is Bakugo. But eventually he sees her lose and is sad about him. And then after that, he meets Endeavor. Sorry to go a little bit back there, because I think I skipped a fight. Yeah, and I think Deku would be interested in this fight. Yeah, but anyways, back to the fight with Todoroki and Deku. And then he gets in there, does his stance again, so does Todoroki, and then Midnight says, go! And then Deku, dashes towards Todoroki, trying to send out an electric current, Dragon Fist again. But Todoroki slide dashes away from it and tries to shoot an Ice Blast at Deku. But Deku just shoots at a dragon that collisions with it, blowing both the dragon and the glacier up. Then Deku sends out another dragon to grab Todoroki and bite him. But Todoroki freezes it all the way into a big block and then shoots the block with a pillar, shooting the dragon back at Deku. But Deku, of course, thunderclap and flashes on top of the dragon, running up it, spinning, dashing again with a thunderclap and flash, and sends out an electric pulse. But Todoroki gets shot forward, but not knocked out of the ring. He catches himself with an Ice Blast and lands. Then Deku waits for Todoroki to throw an attack, with Todoroki throwing a giant ice glacier, almost the size as the one Zoro got hit by, but of course a bit smaller because he's already tired. So Deku dashes around it. He dashes around it with Todoroki thinking he's done, but Deku's in the corner of the ring, basically almost out, but then he dashes towards Todoroki and goes for a punch, and he punches him, sending him back with the punch. And then the ring is severely smaller now, considering that ice block is blocking everything. And then Deku says that he probably should use the fire to get rid of that, or he isn't going to win this. But Todoroki says he is using his quirk, with this making Deku realize that Endeavor's the reason Todoroki isn't fighting at full strength. It's not because Todoroki isn't trying, it's that he doesn't want to. Then Todoroki sends out another Ice Blast, with Deku just breaking it again with a pulse. And Deku says that Todoroki should start using his quirk, or he isn't going to win. Todoroki says, again, he isn't using his quirk. And Deku says he isn't using his quirk, he's using his quirk. With Todoroki then realizing, yes, his superpower is his superpower. And he sends out blows up into fire and melts the giant glacier. with Deku ready to fight more. Then Todoroki sends out a fire blast with Deku protecting himself with a dragon. The dragon encasing him, shooting him through the fire, and Deku kicks him. But Deku gets grabbed by an ice hand and almost thrown out of the ring. But he dashes to the ground, slamming himself to it. It's a bit of an aggressive one. Then he thunderclaps and flashes towards Deku towards Todoroki, punching him in the face with a backhand punch, pushing Todoroki back. Basically, his back palm hits the back of Todoroki's, hits Todoroki right point blank in the face, knocking him back, spinning. But of course, Todoroki saved himself with a fire blast, landing, then shoots out a giant glacier again. But Deku does a giant electric pulse, countering the entire ice blast, shooting Todoroki back slightly. But, he's too far from the outside, so it just makes him step back, which Deku uses to send out to start flying up with electric abilities, because, this is Deku using his full strength, and we see his eyes glow into a yellow with crackling lightning coming off it, and we see him send out a giant, I don't know what dragon is, but it has no wings, but it still flies, shooting that one out, and then it basically flying towards Todoroki. It's gargantuan, by the way. Think the ice glacier, it's that big, straightforward. And its head's huge. So it goes to bite Todoroki, but Todoroki shoots out an ice blast, trying to freeze it. But Deku is using this as to advantage, shooting himself through the dragon, actually. And when Todoroki freezes it, Deku is shot out of the mouth of the dragon, and Deku, gets right in front of Todoroki's face, and electric pulses covering the entire arena, but it hits Todoroki and pushes him all the way out of the ring. But, it keeps going, and it sends Todoroki into the crowd, slamming him into the stands. And Deku then lands, utterly exhausted, and falls down, tired. And he skips, no. Then after he wakes up, he gets back to the ring, ready to fight Bakugo. Bakugo saying he better not be tired after that fight, with Deku saying, well, he is, but not enough to not beat him. And so he cracks his knuckles, ready to fight Bakugo. And this fight begins with Bakugo sending out a gargantuan explosion first, but of course Deku uses a dragon to cover himself and catches the explosion. And Bakugo rushes in with trying to hit Deku, but Deku is dodging his explosions and punches. And then Deku tries to punch Bakugo, but he blows himself out of the way, shooting around Deku and then shooting Deku in the back. Deku hitting one knee, but dashing upwards to hit a spin kick. And hits him in the head. Bakugo in the head, making him take a knee. Then Deku lands, then does a flip kick, kicking Bakugo in the chin, flipping him, and then Deku charges a punch, like Gon in Hunter x Hunter, and then he punches Bakugo, shooting out then doing the Dragon Fist, but in a bigger scale, by spitting Bakugo closer to the exit of the ring, and then shooting out a gigantic dragon, pushing Bakugo almost out of the ring, but he blows up the dragon and blows himself forward with his other hand. Yeah, he used one hand to take out the dragon and another hand to shoot himself forward. Then he spins over to Deku, actually doing a tiny howitzer, shooting Deku back, a lot, almost out of the ring. Then Deku clings onto the sand and keeps himself to the ground. Then Deku gets up and relaxed, and Bakugo shakes off his hands because they're a bit shaky after doing those big explosions. And then Deku and Bakugo back into their starting stance. And then Deku starts with dashing forward and then doing a pulse. But Bakugo actually blows up all the way above it, then shoots himself back down, and then tackles Deku with his shoulder, slamming him to the ground. Then he puts a hand next to Deku's face and is about to blow him up, which actually lands, or so Bakugo thinks. Deku has already dashed out of the range and put a dragon there to, make Bakugo feel like he's landing on something. Then Deku dashes back in with a punch to the chest, and then an uppercut to the chin. Then Deku punches the living crap out of Bakugo with a buttload of a flurry of blows, and then he charges one punch to the gut, and this does another dragon fist. But then those two dragons split into two dragons, slamming into Bakugo, which makes Deku fly up, grabbing Bakugo, and then he spins to the ground, putting Bakugo's head first, like Rock Lee did to, I think, Gaara. Then Deku slams him to the ground, with Bakugo recovering slowly, but recovering. Deku also recovering because that also hurt him as well. And then Bakugo being tired, and Deku also being tired because he's been 2 big fights so far, they just start socking each other. Then they punch each other at the same time, pushing themselves back. Then Deku kicks Bakugo's knee, pushing him down, and then Deku socks him in the face a few times, and then puts out one last attack, which is to punch Bakugo in the chest, and then shoot out a gargantuan pulse, which knocks Bakugo out completely, because all of the energy was pushed straight down, which knocks Bakugo out, like I said. And then Deku raises his fist like Goku did after beating that one movie villain with a dragon fist. And then Deku picks up Bakugo and then leaves the ring. And Deku wins barely. Right after Deku's out of the sight of everyone, he lays down and goes unconscious. Anyways, hope you liked the video. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.